Hi everybody, it is the end of January and it's one of the happiest times of the year for me because it's when I like to start my tomato seeds. So I'm going to show you today how I do it. Now keep in mind, we live in California and that makes a big difference when it comes to when you can actually start your seeds, because when you're going to put them in the ground differs pretty greatly. Where I'm from in the Midwest in Chicago, we don't even think about putting that garden in until around Mother's Day because it could snow up till then. So here in California, this is my technique, and I wanted to share it with you. A lot of people have said how much they like to see what goes on in the garden, and so here I'm going to give you a tip. Now I'm going to grow 4 different tomatoes this year. One is called Mortgage Lifter, one's called Kellogg Breakfast tomato, not named after the cereal, and then there's this variety of black tomato which came up as a volunteer in the garden one year, so we continue to plant it year after year. And finally, I'm going to try one called Sun Peach. Typically I like to grow Sun Gold, but I've heard this is a variety that was made from that and it's supposed to be quite tasty. So we'll see how it goes. Now, a lot of people when they're starting seeds, they use seed starter and they put seeds in these tiny cells and then they transplant that cell into a main pot. But I thought it might be smarter just to skip a step, and this is what I've been doing for a couple years now. If you can see my setup here, I've already put potting soil in the bottom of the pot here, and then I just grabbed a mason jar from inside the house and I put it right in the center. Now what I'm going to do is fill the rest of that pot with the potting soil, and I'll tell you why I like this technique. It's, like I said, it skips a step, and what you do is you let the seeds start in this. It's a low nutrition seed starter, and it allows that seed to really spread out its roots in search of more nutrition. And so I don't want to do the middle step, and I just put it straight into the soil. So it grows from that little bit of seed starter directly into the soil, and you can just leave it in the same pot for the entire time that you're getting your seed to start and your baby plant to grow. And then from here, you can put it straight into the garden. So I'm just finishing this up and I'm tamping it down a bit because typically these potting soils are pretty loose and you want to make sure that that seed has a good solid base to rest on. So as you can see, that's what I've done right now. And now we're just going to remove this little mason jar that we have here, and I am going to add seed starter to that little reservoir that we've created. If you aren't familiar with seed starter, it's a very light, like I said, nutrient sparse medium, and that is a great way to start your seeds. So here it is in the center, and you can see how light it is there. I'm going to plant Mortgage Lifter. Started Mortgage Lifter for the first time last year. It's this big, pink, very tasty tomato. And the reason that I got it was because it said that the tomatoes were the size of a dinner plate. They never quite turned out to be the size of a dinner plate, but they were really delicious. So I saved these seeds from last year. And what I'm gonna do is just place about 2 to 3 in that little cell that we've created. And the reason that you wanna do that, you're really only gonna save 1. So 2 are going to be cut off at some point in time, and you just choose the strongest one. But a lot of times when you're planting seeds, some don't work. They just didn't save well. And so you want to make sure that you have at least 1 that is going to grow in that pot. So there it goes. I have my seeds now. I've covered them a little bit with the seed starter, and this will start to grow after about a week or 2. I'm going to water it, and then we keep it inside. It's still too cold outside to keep it outside, but we do bring it out every once in a while just to give it a little bit more sun. So that is my technique for starting tomato seeds. It's the end of January, but it definitely makes things a lot happier going forward.